What is up, boys? How's it going? And welcome back to another episode of the One Piece Virgin Podcast. Let's go! Today we are covering... Yippee! Today we are covering one of the best filler arcs. And yes, we're covering a non-canon anime arc today, G-8. Joining us, we got the One Piece Virgin herself, Poseidon Mythos. What's up, gamer?
Hi, I have tummy problems today, but I'll make it through the podcast.
Oh no! Oh no! I hope you feel better, gamer. Thank you for
I'll feel
coming
better.
out.
Don't worry.
Sorry. I was about to say I also have tummy problems today, but probably different problems. Anyway, Jordan, the anime dude, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for having me.
Always good to have you, brother. Thank you for coming in clutch every single week when I have no prep and no guests.
I do what I can.
You're basically a co-host at this point. I'm just going to message you every week. If you're available, you're welcome to come.
All right. Sounds good. I'm always down to talk about One Piece. So.
Am I right? Yeah, One Piece, always down. Anyway, let's jump into it. Poseidon, general thoughts. How you liking the G8 arc?
This was a very fun arc. It was just nice to kind of watch something where the stakes are low. Just kind of turn your brain off. Enjoy the Straw Hat shenanigans.
Yes.
I genuinely really loved this arc. It was fun.
I think that's a good description. It's just a lot of fun because you knowing that it's filler, it can't really change anything or add anything super important happen, right? Wherever it starts, it has to end in the exact same spot. So the last arc ended with them falling like from Skypiea using the octopus, and they landed in this naval base, right? But then in the next arc, they're probably going to be landing in the sea, and it's just going to start as if like nothing happened. Started as sailing as if they never landed in this base and never had these fun shenanigans.
Yeah, and you see that with a lot of other anime, but I think this is still up to this point like the longest like anime original filler in One Piece and whatnot. So I don't know. It was a good change of pace for this show. One of the best filler arcs out there, I think, for sure.
I wonder how many episodes it was. Was it like 10?
It was like 12.
12?
Something like
12
that.
maybe? Something around
It was like 11,
there.
12, something.
It's crazy how like with other anime, you could have a 12 to 24 episode show, and that's the show. That's the entire anime. And then in One Piece, it's like, yeah, we'll have a 12 episode filler arc where nothing is really allowed to happen.
I think with this filler arc, I think the concept of it was originally like they were wanting to do a movie with it, and it was just kind of scrapped for that. But they turned it into a fun arc instead, if I remember correctly. I could be making that up. So
Source,
I read things and then just repeat it. So people don't lie online. So.
Source, I made it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, Poseidon, do you have any fun moments you want to talk about?
Particularly, and it's totally because I am not an SIMP, I love the Robin switch up where she I already forgot his name, but it was the inspector dude. She kind of knocked him out.
You forgot Condi Oriano's name?
Yeah.
The next
Yes! How was I supposed to remember a name like that?
Orion.
He's the goat. He's the future pirate king.
He's not a goat. He's a shepherd. All right.
A shepherd.
Where she was basically pretending to be the inspector, and Usopp was in the commander's office, and Usopp's like, yeah, you know me, right? And she was like, I don't know him. They threw him into the cellar.
That's a super funny scene. I even like the scene directly before it, where Usopp's like captured and he's all down in the dumps and like on the floor, and then they're like, but wait, he could be the actual shepherd. I know an inspector was supposed to be coming today, and he's like, ha ha ha, you figured it out. Did you? And he starts to be like, he's like, is this clean? Is this clean? Like he starts just going crazy all over the place. Like his confidence and charisma was just so funny.
I will say that one of my least favorite parts about that though was towards the very start of that scene. They're questioning him hard. They're like, "What's your name?" He's like, "It's a secret." What division are you in? It's a secret. Like he was doing so bad at lying, and I'm like, man, this is the guy that's supposed to be known for lying. That's like quick on his feet. And then they threw him one line, and he just worked with it so well. Came up with a whole narrative and everything.
And then Robin threw him under the bus.
Oh yeah, as one does.
Yeah, and it ended up coming in clutch because with him with Zoro, they were able to help each other escape, and Zoro can protect him. And at the same time, now Usopp's not in Robin's way, and she could like pretend to be the inspector and go and find like the plans and the design of the base, right, to help them escape and find the gold, etc. Jordan,
there's a lot of moving parts here.
Do you have any favorite moments from this arc?
I feel like there's so many memeable moments, and those are typically my favorites. Like just the comedic aspects, like even from like right before this arc started. I guess going back to that and whatnot, just the way they introduced the arc in the manga, they literally they're coming down to the octopus, they land on the ocean, and they continue from there, and like that's it, right? They found a way to make that so much more entertaining and like fit it in seamlessly. And then you get like moments like Zoro just having dreams in his sleep that freak everybody out, and he's over there sleeping. Like that was one of my favorite moments. And then the Luffy following everybody around. I know that's a classic, but
yes.
Like the third one that I actually forgot about was how they escaped from the cell. So whenever Sanji's trying to break out and stuff, I thought it was kind of stupid that they're sitting there giving him opportunities to try out this thing in Usopp's pocket, and he's like, oh, the other pocket. So he gets into the other pocket, and it's not that one either. But one of those was a flavor dial. And what saves them and busts them out of that cell is the fact that Luffy just farted in his flavor dial. And,
so stupid.
It's so dumb, but it's
fine.
It made me laugh, yeah. And I forgot all about that part.
It would have been one thing if he used the impact dial to escape, but classic One Piece style, it's like, let's Luffy farted in it, and it's gonna light the fire and cause an explosion and blah blah blah. But I do agree, Jordan. It's like, why are they not trying to shoot them or capture them? But I do understand that apparently this base tries to not kill people. They wanted to like arrest them, and they're like, what are they gonna do? We confiscated everything. Like, how's a shell gonna help them escape? You know? If they confiscated their bag and their swords, but I guess you see a shell and you're like, what's it matter?
Yeah, which I guess speaking of the shells, I also love that like they're already starting to introduce like these dials from Skypiea have some relevance, right?
Yeah,
like the waiver from Skypiea has some relevance. Usopp got a big moment right there I forgot about as well. Whenever they're coming down on the octopus, he like swung like Tarzan down below the ship and like tried to help them land. It didn't really work that well, but like I was like, oh man, like our boy's growing already.
Was that part of this filler arc?
It was the episode like right before. So like the lead off from Skypiea, they kind of spread that out a little bit, and that's stuff that's not in the manga, right? But it's them coming down from the octopus getting smaller, and then so they start to fall down faster, right, before they like crash land. So
got it. All right, I have 2 questions for Poseidon. One, do you have a favorite character from this arc that's a non-Straw Hat?
I actually really liked the commander, because it's up to this point, I believe when we like see the Marines, all like the commanders we've seen, they're very ruthless and they're like, justice, we must capture them and do whatever we need to do. But this guy was playing chess, literally.
Yeah.
He was very, very patient. He was trying to be very calculated. So it was kind of nice to see a different type of Marine commander up to this point. So I really liked him a lot. Yeah. Even at the end, when he was like, we may have not captured them, but at least we got all of our people to work together. And that's what he found was important. So,
yeah, I really
liked him a lot.
This commander as well. I think he's actually like an underrated like antagonist in a way, because you don't really see that patience from very many like antagonists. It's usually like chase them, get them, capture them, trap them here, or do this here. Like him letting them wander around the base, knowing that there's nowhere for them to escape, and just like gathering information and intel and plotting his capture. Was just fantastic to see some strategy being involved, and it really opposes Luffy's style of like, there's a trap, well, I'm gonna run into it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, Luffy's first interaction with that guy is also one of my favorites. One, he brings him his food. Like you don't expect to see the captain of the pirate ship that invaded your base, like bringing you food and whatnot. But right after that, it's Luffy having that lackadaisical attitude of, I can get out whenever I want. Like when I want to leave, I'm gonna leave. And then that just immediately shifting gears as soon as like they mentioned that Zoro's already a captive, right? So yeah.
Speaking of which, what's it called? the Zoro being captured was hilarious. And before that, like Nami's like wandering around the ship trying to be like nonchalant and sneaky, and they're talking about Zoro. They even have the pirate hunter Zoro on their crew. And then we're gonna capture him and kick his ass or something. They said, and Zoro just turns the corner. Who are you gonna kick? Whose ass are you gonna kick? Like Buddy's just walking around, ready to be captured and seen.
Oh, Zoro getting lost moments are always at the top of the list. He's just walking around nonchalant as hell, just not a worry in the world.
It is so funny. There's so many little moments in this filler arc, but I do want to mention. You mentioned the dials. What did you think? Poseidon, about like the dials being used and like all the mention of the ship as well. There's a lot of mention of the ship.
Yes.
It's got a focus here for sure.
So kind of adding on to what you guys said earlier, the people who are on, I guess, land, right, don't have any idea what these dials are.
Yeah.
So you see like these marine people, they see the Straw Hats just take out a little seashell and they're like, what is that gonna do? You know, we have no idea what these devices do, only for it to backfire, which I think is really funny. And the ship, the old man having a conversation with Usopp about, I might know who fixed your ship, but then that not getting answered.
Yeah, because it's filler, so they couldn't.
It's like, oh my god.
I feel like I knew you'd bring that up.
Yeah, it's filler, so they couldn't really get into it too much because it hasn't been revealed. But I do like the fact that this filler, unlike most filler, takes into account like the arcs prior, right? Like the ship being damaged and fixed by this mysterious whatever individual is like important from the previous arc and maybe the next arc, right? We know that they're planning to use some of that gold to like, what's it called, get their ship fixed, and they want to find the ship, right? So having the ship be so important in this arc is like cool for filler. Like most filler is just like, they're dreaming and they're on another island, or they went into another dimension, or it's just like something like that's so like extracted from the story. When this one like really does take into account the previous arc, when you see Usopp using the dials, which as a non-One Piece virgin who you don't get to see the dials used that often is really cool. Like I love seeing the dials used not in Skypiea.
Yeah.
And be honest, Poseidon, there was this part of you, just a smidge, right, that like had some hope that old man was actually gonna reveal some info. Like,
yes, that was like the biggest thing that bothered me coming out of Skype. It's like, who is this man? I want to know.
They took him away before he could answer.
Well, I keep on saying the next arc they're gonna hire this, and the next arc they're gonna try to fix the ship, but it's not the next arc. There's actually another arc with tons of filler. I am so sorry.
Which is one of my
favorites. Is it the
favorites.
one right after?
It's right after.
Right after this is one of my...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, well, right after this is one of my favorites. You're going to love it.
Because I kept watching because I wasn't sure where to stop. So I did get to start like a few episodes of the next arc.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So that was fun.
The Long Land arc. I will say... It's actually not bad in the manga, but in the anime, they made it pointlessly long, and it's pretty okay at times. Which we'll definitely talk about it at some point, but I'm gonna see.
Yeah.
It's only in the anime. It's 13 episodes. I thought it was longer, but 13 episodes for that arc is kind of crazy.
No, she's gonna like it. I've heard there's some characters in that arc that are in the card game that are good in every deck, right? They're not just in that specific deck. It's like they're in all the decks.
Who?
Yeah, Point Nose.
Yeah, Pointy Nose girl.
Pointy Nose.
Yeah, she's really good in the Reiju deck.
Yeah, that was it.
You're
more of an expert than I am.
Dude, that's hilarious. And but I do love the fact that this is 12 episodes this arc, and then the next arc is 13 episodes. So it's like 25 episodes of like kind of just filler content. Because like Skypiea and then the next arc afterwards that your friends have been telling you about Water 7 are actual arcs. And technically, Long Green Longland is not filler. It just has a lot of filler in it. Like Long Green Longland could have been like 6 episodes. Did not need to be 13 episodes. But anyway, that's besides the point. You also answered incorrectly. The commander is not the best character. It's Condi Oriano. Any thoughts on him and his meme-looking ass?
This poor guy went through it this arc. He shows up to do his job, gets beat up by Robin, thrown into his cellar because nobody believes that he's the inspector. You know? He's he really went through it. They finally figured it out. He was trying to help them. At the end, he had one job and he failed to do it with the cannon.
Yeah.
I think he was undercover Straw Hat and he let them go.
Yeah, it was one of the most innovative moves an anime has ever made to introduce like the next Straw Hat in a filler arc. Like they usually don't do that. So
amazing.
That and did you have any other characters that you typically liked outside the Marine base? Because I guess one of the most appealing things for me about this arc is just that you know, in the One Piece world, there's a lot of shades of gray. Like everything's not black and white, right? We're dealing with people on all sides. And this is one of our first times just being like inside a Marine base and getting to see a lot of the Marines like as people, what like doing things that and bonding with the Straw Hats over things that they like, whether it's cooking or helping people in need in the medical arena or you know, taking care of ships. Like there were so many different areas where you know you have these Marines bonding with the Straw Hats over their shared hobbies, right? So did any of those stand out?
I really loved the kitchen, Jessica, and her crew, because there were two, I guess, famous chefs that were coming to, I guess, assist them with cooking the meals for the Marines. And Sanji and Luffy pose as those two because Nami misled the actual two chefs because they were asking where's the kitchen, and obviously Nami not knowing where anything is, she misled them probably to the complete other side of the base. Anyways, you see Jessica and her kitchen staff kind of learn from Sanji to not waste anything, because she came in thinking that these two chefs are pretentious, they're stuck-ups and all that, and then Sanji was over there to help prove to her that I'm a good chef, you know, you're not supposed to waste anything, make sure you use everything, and, you know, cook with love and all sorts of stuff like that. So it was cool to see kind of Jessica, I guess, turn a new leaf, I don't know what the wording is. But she kind of learns from Sanji, and then we have the doctor as well, learning from Chopper and Nami, because the doctor, she's scared of blood. She can't. She's like, how are you a doctor, but you're scared of blood? But you see Chopper kind of letting her know, like, hey, these people's lives are in your hands. You need to do something to save these injured Marines. So you kind of see Chopper push her to be the best doctor she can be. So it was really nice seeing these, I guess, people who do work for the Marines, but they're not. They learn to not just, I guess, look black and white. You know, there's like you said, shades of gray.
They got to meet the Straw Hats and get to know them maybe as people, and like even Jessica said at the end about Sanji, it's like when he was in the kitchen, he wasn't a pirate, he was a chef, right? Fun fact about that, by the way, I think this filler may be the first time that Mary Joa, or I can't pronounce it, is mentioned. Those two chefs that were coming to they came from that place. Mary Jo, and I think that was the first time I think it's mentioned in the anime.
Is it?
I have no idea what that is.
I do not remember it being mentioned prior to this.
I mean, it's just the name of a place right now, right? We're not going to know what it is, right? That's interesting. I did not realize that.
A little cool Easter egg, I guess, for people that have read past or watched past.
Yeah. Speaking of Jessica,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I thought it was like a cool little twist that like she's actually married to the commander that you like so much and whatnot, and all the little bitty spats of like, you need to eat your vegetables. He's like, I don't wanna, like just little things like that just really help to like personify them, right? Or like kind of bring it down to earth and really show us their humanity, right? Even though they're usually on the other side. So.
I love that scene where he gets Sanji's meal that he made, and you see Luffy go in there try to eat the meal Sanji made, and Luffy gave himself away.
All right, I am incorrect. Apparently, Sengoku and the warlords met up at that place
Oh, okay.
Mary Joa. But did we know that they were there? Probably. It was probably like text on the screen or something.
Very possible. Like, there's a lot of things in One Piece that's just kind of there for a little bit. Like maybe if it's the manga, maybe like a single page or something like that, or a single scene in the anime, and it won't be relevant again until for like 500 episodes. And then whenever it comes up, they're like, "Remember that one page from
Yeah.
volume 7, page chapter 32."
For some reason,
I don't know.
for some reason, I thought like Sengoku. I thought they were just at like a marine base. I didn't think they were there.
Mhm.
But I guess we met the. Have you met the Gorosei at all? Like the 4 old dudes, Poseidon.
The elders.
The elders. Yeah. Have you met them
I
briefly?
think they were in that marine meeting, right? With
Okay.
the warlords.
Then
with
I
Doflamingo.
Yeah.
do think we've heard the name or the island, whatever, Mary Joa, that these 2 chefs came from. Apparently. All right, I lied. Easter egg, false. Source, I made it up.
That's one of the best sources. You're not allowed to make stuff up on the internet. That'd be crazy.
Any thoughts about Usopp and the old man, other than just not hearing about the thing?
I loved that when they were bonding, it was just the old man was talking about how much he cares about ships and how you should take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Usopp kind of, I guess, learning and listening to him. We got some bonding between those two. I actually really like the old man's character too.
Yeah.
He didn't seem like he had anything against pirates really, because you in the marine base, right? Most of them are like pirates equal bad guys, but this guy didn't have that mentality. He had no I guess grudge against them.
I think a large part of that was, you heard some of the younger Marines around the ship and stuff be like, the Straw Hats are stupid, right? Like, there's other ships that are out there that would be much easier to steal. Why'd they come all the way to this one? But as they're sitting there BSing and talking like that, the old man's looking around and seeing how much work was put into like maintaining the ship, and even if it wasn't done by an expert, he could tell it was done with care, right? So I think that's one of the things that kind of softened him up to Usopp a little bit right there. So
I agree. Speaking of which, actually, you guys reminded me. In regards to the ship, it was revealed, and I thought it was cool to see Nami, who like tends to be just like put money first a lot of the times, and is painted in that light. And obviously, it was funny the second that they realized that the treasure was gone. Nami's like, "Make a U-turn, make a U-turn right now. We're not escaping. They have our treasure." And the commander also was like, "I know that they're gonna come back for their treasure. There's no way pirates would leave without their treasure." But it was wholesome to hear that Nami wanted to use 80% of the treasure, not for herself, but rather for the ship. Which was, I don't know, I really appreciated that, because obviously Nami tends to be scummy with money.
Yes.
Yeah, and of course, 90% of what remains is going to go into her savings, and then the rest can be divided up, right?
And whatever's divided up might be taxable and interest.
Yeah, exactly. With interest.
Oh my god! I remember Zoro having to pay back like 300% interest on something that he never on money
he never bought.
On money he never ended up using. I gave it back to you that day. I didn't use it. I got them for free.
Yeah, you agreed to pay with interest. I don't know what to tell you.
Breach of contract.
Oh gosh.
I'm trying to think. I actually didn't get a chance to rewatch this entire arc. Poseidon, can you remind me on how the arc ends and how they manage to escape?
So, if I'm remembering correctly, they are on their way out, and then the commander's like giving them like, "Hey, start shooting at them," or like, "But don't kill them." And then I'm sorry, the inspector's name I just can't remember. You guys are telling me his name?
Shepard.
I think.
Shepard! He had one job, and he's like, "I'm gonna take this cannon and shoot it at them." And then it just completely goes berserk and hits one of the Marines.
Yeah. If you forget his name again, just roll with Condoriano. We'll know who you're talking about.
Condoriano.
Yeah, that's right.
Condoriano. He's a will of
Condoriano.
Those who are destined for greatness.
Exactly. Yeah. That was a spoiler, but it is what it is.
I can't believe I got spoiled that he's the last Straw Hat.
Gold D. Roger, Monkey D. Luffy, Con D. Oriano.
Exactly.
Caro D. Uck.
I mean, we can be open
Can't
about it now. He
believe
already
this.
told you, you know?
Yeah.
But it does end with them sailing away, and the commander just kind of being like, "All right, it's okay." You know what mattered at the end? Friendship
Oh, John. He's so
between
easygoing.
our.
Is
He
that
was
the
never
commander's
stressing too
name?
much over it.
Is the commander named
Jonathan,
Jonathan?
yeah.
Oh, Jonathan. Jonathan.
Jonathan, there
Yeah.
we go.
I was like, but it's funnier to say old John, you know?
Old John.
Old John. This
Oh,
really
man.
was
We
just
go way
one
back.
of those friendship prevails all. So, yeah. But I really like this arc. G-8 was fun. Hopefully, if there are any filler arcs, it's just as fun as this one. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't think of any.
Oh, okay.
One Piece really doesn't have a lot of like anime original like filler arcs in general. So yeah, like us getting this one and it being as good as it was a really fun ride. And
Mm.
I know they have like recap movies kind of that like have like new animation that like go over the major arcs of One Piece.
Mhm.
And another little tidbit I remember reading was this was one of the I think this is like the only filler arc that's like included in one of those movies, right? So I think it's for the arc after this is the movie, but like they include parts from like from G8, right? So
Which makes me think, I wonder if they're going to include this filler arc in the One Piece live action.
That would
possibly.
be so fun.
Like I said, I feel like this is one of the few arcs that just like improves upon like what the manga did, right? Like that was such a cooler way for them to land than just landing, right? That's kind of anticlimactic. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a cool way for them to land. I feel like we got to see more with Dials. We get to see more about the ship and their love for the ship, and kind of transition from, well, in my head, transition from Sky Island to Water 7, but obviously we go to fucking Long Ring Longland for a bit. Which, on that note, I think not next week, but the week after, Poseidon, are you good for Long Ring Longland? It's 13 episodes.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It'll be your bigger arc.
The first like 2 or 3 I watched has been already super fun, so
Hell yeah.
I'm excited.
It's good to hear.
And I also love the opening that has started with this arc. Typically I skip the anime openings after I watch them for the first few times, but this one I really enjoy it. So
Nice.
She skips Bon Voyage. This is so sad. What is next? What's the next one? Refresh.
It's the one after Bon Voyage. I really like this opening a lot.
Okay, I was hoping I could trick her into singing, but no luck.
Nice try.
We're still like pretty short on time. I wanted to do a potential like tier list in a future episode, but just a general question. Who would you say your favorite villain is or antagonist is so far in One Piece?
Oh.
Take your time. Think about it.
Damn.
And why is it Condioliano? No, sorry.
I think it's still Crocodile.
Still Crocodile,
I really
nice.
loved Crocodile. He was just very calculated, just amazing villain. I loved him a lot, and I hope we can see him again because he's just such a cool character. Anaru is fine. He's cool. But I think up to this point it's Crocodile for me. I think he was much more meticulous, and I really liked that. So
I think he's a more fleshed out villain than Eneru, who just I feel like was like kind of chaotic for the sake of being chaotic, and like he could have just left.
Yes.
He could have just left to his endless verse. He could have just went to the moon and be like, I want to destroy everything first. Little god complex.
He's very narcissistic, yeah.
Yeah.
I like both. Those are two of my favorite villains in the series. Eneru more for his power, but I think part of it is the supporting cast around him, right? Like the group that Crocodile put together with Bon Clay and Number One, and then all the other Baroque Works agents. Like, I feel like that was so much better of a supporting cast than, Sky Island. It was mainly just like Enel, right? Like, I don't remember the priests as well. Like, they were fun while we were there, but they weren't even really that important to him, right? So I think that was a big part of it. It's like knowing every member of a band versus being like, oh yeah, there's other people playing instruments around this one person, right?
That's true. I do like that Crocodile had a plan. he was executing said plan by like pretending to be a Shichibukai, and he was trying to find the poneglyph, and just more world building and a badass mafia villain with a cool power, not as cool as Enel's.
Which, yeah, I don't want to undersell Enel though, because he was very well read. Like he knew a lot about the ruins and like the history of the area he was in. Like he was a smart dude, and he just kind of brute forced the thing because he didn't really feel the need to try to be sneaky about it. Whereas, because he's a big fish in a small pond, right? Whereas Crocodile is seen like the bigger picture, the world around him, right? Yeah. So
yeah, he knows that there's bigger fish than himself, and he's trying to like be strategic to get his goals accomplished. Versus Anel's like, let's be a gamer. We're doing a battle royale. Last one standing.
Exactly.
Come with me. It's Fortnite.
Oh.
What about you, Jordan? Who do you think your favorite villain is up until this point?
Honestly, my favorite villain is probably Crocodile as well. I feel like a copycat saying that, but yeah.
You're valid.
Between him and Kandoriano, so
yeah. I think for me, I do like Enel more, even though Crocodile is probably a better written villain. I just like Enel. I am the biggest Enel glazer of all time. But he
has the coolest power. So
I think if Enel tried to find the One Piece, he would have found it by now.
Touche.
Yeah, you know what? That's a very valid statement.
Enel is one of the only villains that actually achieves their dream in all of One Piece.
All right, Crocodile is still my favorite, but I guess a special shout out to Doflamingo. We haven't seen a ton from him yet, but he has like the best style out of all the villains. Like if we're talking about
maybe I should save it for like the next episode, because this is technically like we get to see him do something right after G8.
Really?
We get a little taste of his power.
I don't even remember that.
And I'm like, that is such a cool. I will say, I think I have, I guess, a thing for characters that have like string powers. So I that's probably why I enjoy Tofi.
She's a masochist.
Oh my god.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Any final thoughts on G8 as an arc?
Peak
filler.
Peak filler.
I can't wait for G7, 6, and 5. Those will be.
Oh, there's 7, 6, and 5.
Yeah, we haven't gotten 4, 3, 2, and 1 yet, but the other G's.
The other G's.
Yeah,
they probably exist. Realistically, if there's a G8, the other bases probably exist. They're just probably normal buildings. But that brings into question movies. Like, obviously, I want to continue with canon content, but in the future, especially if like One Piece manga goes on break, we could just like, rather than making Poseidon watch 20 episodes, we could just have her watch one movie and we could talk about it. 'Cause some of the movies are shit. And some of the movies are kind of goated, so it might be worth a watch.
Yeah, I think some of the earlier ones are kind of rough, but the thing you'll love about the movies, Poseidon, is they do a really good job in One Piece compared to other series of like always giving the cast of characters like cool clothing that's like specific to the movie, right? So we get to see a lot of different outfits and stuff for the crew.
Oh hell yeah!
Jordan, have you ever watched the Omatsuri Island movie?
Is it one of like the first 3 or 4?
I think it's
something.
It's one that's early on in the ugly.
Oh, is that the dancing one? Or
it's like an ugly art style.
Maybe I watched the first like 3 movies, and then I watched like some later movies. So I have not seen all of them, but like some of the early ones, like they were not that memorable, but I've probably seen them. So
yeah. Well, we might have to do that for a podcast. Even if we do two movies, we'll watch 2 movies and talk about it. But there might not be enough content in some of those early movies.
In one movie, right?
Especially since it's non-canon, so we can't talk about like world building or anything like that. But anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. Check out The Anime Dude and Poseidon Mythos on all the platforms. Shimpaku, and I'll see you all next time. Later, gamers.
Later, gamers.
Later, gamers.
Bye-bye.
The endings are so bad.